Hey everybody, this is Nick Marshall, and I am got a little bit of another teaching here about the tactical marketer, right? My page that I love talking on. What is the purpose of this page? Well, it's simply just to teach basic leadership, marketing, and business ideas, concepts, tactics that help young entrepreneurs grow in their business, help us in life, help us be better leaders in our community. And covered basic topics that you can that you learn about in any sort of business class, right? So today I am interested in talking to you about the diffusion of innovations. If you put in that term in the Google, you're going to see a whole lot of videos. You're going to see a lot of graphs about this. If you've ever taken a statistics class, you'll learn about the diffusion of innovations. And simply what it is how human behavior, how the population will react to a new product that enters into the market. Sometimes we call it product life cycle. And really what it is dividing up the population into different percentages to realizing who's going to hop on board with buying this product at what time. Well, the fun thing about it is we don't know how fast or how slow this process will take, but the process does happen, right? So I printed off the internet. I thought it was a great graph that really explains this process. And let's orientate ourselves to the map here. Here we see that this is our typical standard deviation, right? And down in here at the beginning, the first group of people we call our innovators, right? And roughly 2.5% of the greatest minds of the world out there are coming up with new products to create and sell, right? So if we look at like Apple, right? Apple is an innovating company. They produce the iPhone. A small group of people create it and they get it going. They have an idea, they want to make it happen, right? So you as a business leader, whatever your business is, you may be an innovator right now and you're trying to create a product to move out to the market, right? Now, the first group of people that are going to start buying your product are the early adopters, right? 13.5% roughly. And so these are the people that are really excited about new products. So these are the people that will stand out in front of the Apple store for a week or a couple of days just in order to get the brand new iPhone. We don't know why they do it. Oh, there are different motives out there, like some people want to be the first to have it and say they're the first to have it. Some people might want to be because it's a social status. Understanding the motives of why people buy things is a different topic, but people fall into this category because they want the newest and latest, greatest thing. And they're willing to sacrifice trust in order to get the new product, because the next step is we don't know if that product is really going to be successful, right? So if the product proves to be successful, you may have spent all this money and got the latest and greatest product, and it just turns out that it really isn't that great, and then they'll quit producing it, right? But later, if the product proves to be successful, it'll break through what we call the chasm, and that's the time frame where we believe that this product is a pretty successful product. It brings value to our lives, and more people start to buy it, right? So that would be the early majority right in here. This is the big group of people that are a good majority of the population that has seen these early adopters buy it, and now they feel comfortable going on and buying the big product, right? So roughly 34% of the population, they're the ones that are now buying these big products, right? The next group is our late majority, right? These are the people that are going to hang back. And they're going to be like, before I go and invest a lot of money in this, I want to make sure that it's working. I want to read the Google reviews. I want to know what's going on, right? These people stand in front of the restaurant for a couple of days just to get in there and try the food. Eventually, if the business is successful, people start going, but I might still hang back and make sure they don't get food poisoning, so on and so forth, and see what people's reviews are of it, right? So the last part is the laggards. These people only buy iPhones because phones that you connect to your house are no longer available, right? So they either have to buy the new product because the old product is no longer produced, or they're very, very skeptical, and they probably will never jump on board, and if they do, they will only because they have to, right? So if we think of like, what's a good example for this? I don't know, I think the phone is a good one, but CDs, right? They may not go out and buy an iPod or any sort of thing. They may not use internet radio like Spotify or anything like that. They will continue to buy CDs until CDs are no longer offered, right? So we know that CDs are on a decline. Technology is taking over, but they're going to hold out to the very end until CDs are just no longer offered, right? So I think this is a pretty neat scale as you start out with your business, to understand that as you're starting your business in town, this is a good place to start, is getting those that are motivated to jump on board and start purchasing from your business. They're your friends and your family members that are going to promote it because they love you. But eventually, as people see that your product is of value, then the wave's going to jump on board buying things. And as these people are happy with your product, then those skeptics that are, just don't know, they're going to start jumping on board. And then in the end, you'll start seeing product decline. That product is no longer of value, or if people are buying it, it's just because they only have to, but the big wave of the masses have already got it. So I thought this was an appropriate time to talk about this. Right now, the vaccines are coming out, right? And so I am not advocating to go get a vaccine, nor am I telling you not to go get a vaccine. I am staying 100% neutral in that. But it brings up a really good point that there are people that created a vaccine. There are people that volunteered to test it out. It's now becoming public, and this early majority are in line right now to get that vaccine. But there is a group of people out there that are still very hesitant, and they're waiting for these people to get it to determine safety or whatever their concerns might be, right? And then in the end, the laggards, they're either people that just don't care about getting a vaccine, or they absolutely refuse, that they don't want to get a vaccine. But as you're on social media, as you're watching the news, I'm bringing this up strictly as a learning point, not as a promotion to get a shot or not get a shot. But you can see how this is applying in society, and watch it play out on social media and the news, that there are going to be people that are jumping on board with it, people that are still like, I just don't know. And then there'll always be the people that are like, nope, I will never get it. And it doesn't matter if it's a vaccine. It doesn't matter if it's an iPhone. It doesn't matter if it's a restaurant. This will always apply in the business world. Just the key is does your product make it past the chasm? And if it doesn't, then you're probably done. If it does, then you can expect this curve, and we call that product life cycle, right? You can make the best of the best CDs in the world and be the best CD company and produce the best CDs that never scratch. But eventually, like the 8-track, it's just going to die out. People will not buy them. And so as a business leader, you have to think about how the market's going to change, how technology is changing, and you have to adapt with it. We saw this very clearly with the pandemic. I can think of a couple of testimonies of businesses that as soon as they weren't able to have customers come and sit down, they quickly changed their tactics to offering family meals. And you could go to the restaurant and buy a family meal and take it home to your family. Your family could sit around the table and have a meal together. The business still was able to sustain. The economy was able to still purchase a meal. It worked out great. Other businesses that couldn't adapt during the pandemic for whatever reason, unfortunately, they closed. But that's what happens in the business world, is businesses always have to stay ahead. They have to take risks. They have to think about, how can I keep up with the market? How can I try and think what the market is going to demand in the future and try to continue to evolve? If I remember correctly, like Kodak, they are known for making film. Kodak didn't want to bring GoPro in as an idea. They turned down GoPro. Look at GoPro. GoPro makes quite a bit of cool products, but they turned them down because they didn't think it was going to fly. Kodak made printers. Their printers are mediocre, I guess. They have some sales, but their sales tend to decline. But Kodak is now moving into the pharmaceutical company because they understand chemicals, they understand that business, they're set up for it, and you could see Kodak begin to really prosper here in the future because of that. So Kodak's had a change of leadership over the time, and I'm sure that maybe a ton of people aren't super interested in this, but they've had to learn to adapt to the market because businesses come and go. Sometimes the product is no longer relevant. Nobody has mobile DVD players anymore. They've gone down, if they even made it. Things change, and we as leaders have to adapt to that. So anyways, thank you for having lunch with me today. Remember that this page is devoted to teaching leadership, teaching business ethics, teaching ideas and concepts about business and marketing, and I hope that it helps my community and help us through this tough time of a pandemic, and that young entrepreneurs, business owners, they may learn something about this and apply it to their lives and how they see fit. All right. Thanks for having lunch. I'll see ya. Bye.